What's going on, YouTube? Good morning there to you. Or I guess it's an afternoon if this gets out to you in the night. I was just sitting here waiting for maintenance to get done. And apparently I get hit by the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Apparently Scaramouche can be a flying Anemo character. I don't even know how people would even know about this stuff. So take this with a giant cube of salt because apparently the Wanderer, aka Scaramouche, right? The good version of him, I guess. We'll see in 3.2, 3.3 when that comes out as well. Apparently he has a pretty interesting kit. So he's supposedly, from what I have been told or lied to, is a flying DPS of sorts. He's Anemo type. His elemental skill allows you to go up in the air. It makes like a ring or something. I don't know. And then it like infuses stuff. And then you can dash around and move and attack and stuff while floating around in the air for like a good amount of time from what I've been told anyway. And it's got like a 9-second cooldown. I don't know. Now that sounds super cool. I've been playing a lot of Tower Fantasy recently. And one of the things that Tower does have over Genshin, there's a lot of weird ways to move around the map. Grappling hook, it's got mounts, it's got a bunch of different stuff. But this would be kind of interesting. I don't know what you're gonna do in like a team where like one of your characters wants to float around and just, I guess instead of like One Punch Man, Paizao style, you're just like mini elemental things that you can throw and do damage with. Cause I guess he's a catalyst character. That sounds cool, but what kind of role is that gonna have in your party? Just throw a bunch of normal attacks out with this floating around thing. I've heard up to like 20 seconds. That's crazy. Could you imagine a 1.0 when Genshin Impact came out if you could like hold down Venti and you could just like fly around for 20 seconds? That would be sweet in a lot of ways. I don't know how you use that in combat. I guess you can float over ground attacks. I don't know. Genshin's combat system seems to be really focused on the elemental combat system, not a whole lot dodging a bunch of huge raid boss wild attacks, because we're never gonna get a raid boss in this game. But the elemental burst seems to be pretty lackluster. For all I was told was that it does damage like 5 times or something. I don't know. This sounds super fake, right? A flying character with just the damage for an elemental burst sounds like the most sus thing ever. So he seems to just be like a straight up flying DPS. Elemental burst does damage, auto attacks do damage with normal attacks, charge attacks do damage, fly around. I don't know, sounds kind of interesting. And apparently his ascensions are the same thing. So his first ascension is like, it gives him a small bonus with whatever you swirl. So if you like swirl pyro, you get attack bonus. If you swirl hydro, you get stamina. If you swirl cryo, you get crit rate. If you swirl electro, you get, guess what, bonus energy gain, because apparently that's a thing. There's no Geo in Dendro swirls, of course, because that doesn't exist in Genshin. And then his other ascension was something like he just has bonus chances to like do extra attacks or spawn particles or something. I'm not sure. This sounds kind of crazy. It sounds like someone who's just gonna fly around the battlefield. I don't know. I don't know if that's a character Genshin needs. If that's what he's gonna do, that sounds kind of interesting. No, that's not interesting at all. I lie. I'm not gonna lie. That doesn't sound interesting at all. That sounds, I was gonna say interesting, but that kind of sounds boring. I mean, instead of just doing that on the ground, you're doing it in the air instead. Constellation wise, we all know 3 and 5 increase your skills. I heard it's gonna have an attack speed one, damage bonus one, might be able to spawn more projectiles or buff yourself up. Basically, it's just be like the self-sufficient sort of like flying Anemo DPS that's just like, bring me some pyro characters for attack buff bonuses, bring me some cryo characters for crit rate bonuses, bring me hydro characters for stamina, which I guess would make sense. Stamina, if it costs stamina to fly, and you're in like a team with like Xingqiu or Yelan, you're constantly getting stamina back, could you fly? Is that where the 20 seconds comes from that I was told randomly? Is that how you get 20 seconds of flying? You just, can we have it an eternal flight in combat, Wanderer? That sounds pretty pog, actually. I could get behind that. I could get behind that. But like I said, giant, get like a giant spoon, right? That's how much salt you need for this, because this is crazy. The characters aren't out yet. Maintenance is happening, and hopefully I'll get this out to you before maintenance is over, guys. If you want to see more stuff, make sure you give a little bit of a subscribe button down there. Hit that like, and I'll see you in the next one.